Hi everyone, welcome to Staying Green in Quarantine, where we're helping you develop your sustainability habits during your time in lockdown. If you've been enjoying our videos, don't forget to subscribe to the channels for updates when we release new ones. Now, energy and electricity is one of the biggest monthly spends in any house, and especially now that we're all indoors a lot more, it's going to start creeping up a little bit. So today, we're going to help you understand how much electricity you're using and, crucially, ways on cutting back so that you can reduce your consumption and reduce your costs. We'll be focusing on three main areas: appliances, lighting, and your plugs and plug sockets. As we said last time when we took you on an eco-audit of your heating, knowledge is power. Electricity is such a fact of life at the moment that we often flick on a switch without giving much thought to the process behind it. But when we start to understand how much electricity we're using, we're empowered to use as much or as little as we want, ultimately protecting our wallets and protecting the planet. As before, we'll be taking a three-step process. First, identify. We'll be identifying any potential problem areas. Then test. We'll be testing to see if those areas are causing problems. And finally, record. We'll be recording those problem areas so that we know to come back and fix them later. And don't worry, we'll be sharing a lot of spreadsheets so you can record your findings easily in the description. Okay, great. Let's get started. So we're going to use our kitchen as an example, and we're literally just going to go in and identify all of the electrical items that we have in here. So we've got the toaster, we've got the oven and the hob, we've got the microwave as well, we've got the washing machine in there, and then we've got the dishwasher here as well, and a kettle and a coffee bean grinder. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to note them all down in my notebook, and then we're going to come back in a couple of seconds to test and record the information about how much energy they use. So now that we've identified all of our appliances, the next step is to test and record them to work out how much energy they're actually using. And that's quite easy. Most modern day appliances will have an electricity efficiency rating, and that's something to keep an eye out for when you're buying a new appliance. It tells you, for the size of the appliance, how efficient it is at using electricity and how much electricity is getting wasted. Most appliances have a rating from D, which is the worst, to A+++, which is the best, and you can easily find that information online. Now, one thing to note is a lot of appliances that are left on all the time, like fridges or freezers, might have a listing about how much energy they use each year online, so look out for that. But if this all sounds a bit too complicated, don't worry. We're going to put all the maths into a spreadsheet which you can easily download from a link in the description. You just need to input your data and it'll tell you how much energy you're using and how much it's costing you. If you want to go the extra mile, you can quite easily work out how much energy that appliance is consuming and how much it's costing you each year. To start with, you're going to want to find the appliance's wattage. Now, you might be able to find this on the appliance itself, but you could also find it online. It's basically just a measure of how much energy the appliance consumes each moment that it's turned on. If you've got a W, you're dealing in watts. If you've got a kW, you're dealing in kilowatts, which is just 1,000 watts. If you're dealing in watts, divide it by 1,000 so that now you're in kilowatts. Then you're going to want to work out how much you're using the appliance. So make an estimate of how many hours that it's turned on each week, and then multiply that by the appliance's kilowattage. Multiply that number by 52 to get an estimate for how much energy the appliance is consuming each year. Finally, you're going to be able to work out the appliance's cost by simply grabbing your energy bill and seeing if you can see how much you're getting charged per kilowatt hour for your electricity. It should be between about 10 and 20p, but it might be a little bit more. Multiply that number by the appliance's annual electricity consumption to work out how much it's costing you to run each year. And then make a note of how much all your appliances are costing you for comparison later. So as an example, we found two fridges online, one that costs about £500 and one that costs about £440. The difference is the more expensive fridge has a higher energy efficiency rating, which means you'll be spending £21 less each year to run it. Now, that might not sound like a lot, but after just 2.5 years, it will have cost you less to buy and run the more expensive fridge than it will the cheaper one. Now, obviously you're not going to go out and buy a load of new appliances right now, but it's just a way of thinking for when you do need to buy yourself a new appliance. Looking out for energy efficiency is really important. Once you've done all this, note down all of your appliances and information about their energy usage in an Excel spreadsheet. Again, it might not seem important, but it'll help you think about the energy that you're using, which can help you to save money and protect the environment. So now that we've thought about our appliances, the next thing to think about is lighting. Lighting takes up about 18% of our annual energy usage at home, so it's super important that we get it right. And the easiest place to start is with the usage habits. It's an age-old idea, but just turning off lights when you leave the room is super important. If you want, you can make it into an activity, which is what we've done. We made little drawings of light bulbs that we're sticking on doors at about eye level, just to remind us to turn off the lights when we leave the room. But if you're already doing that, it might be time to think about replacing some of the bulbs around your house.
An energy-saving bulb will use 75% or less the amount of electricity that a normal light bulb will use. And in many cases, replacing all of your bulbs will cost a little bit of money to begin with, but you'll save that money in electricity saving within a year. The most common type of energy-saving bulb is a fluorescent bulb, and they last slightly less long, and they take a while to warm up. An LED bulb, on the other hand, lasts even longer than they do, and they give you instant light immediately. If I were recommending anything, I would say look for those LED bulbs, because an LED bulb can save you £150 over the course of its life. Replacing all of your lights in your house with LED bulbs can save you hundreds of pounds each year.
And the last thing to think about is your plug sockets. About 16% of the energy that you use can be down to appliances being left in standby mode, and there's a really easy solution to this, just remembering to turn them off. Now, you've already done the identify and test parts of this because you know that you're looking for appliances that have a standby mode that are being left on around the house. So you can jump straight to record with this. And the thing to do is just go around in each room and make a note of each of the plug sockets that you have that have a plug into them. If you see one that's turned on, like this one, just go over and turn it off. And then make sure you record where that plug is so you remember to turn it off in the future. We've also taken to putting little stickers on some of our plug sockets just to remind us to turn them off when we're done using them. A really good example of this is going to be your mobile phone. So most mobile phones only take a couple of hours to charge, but if you're leaving it on to charge all night, it's still going to be draining that electricity, which is a huge waste of energy. Why not try charging your phone in the morning instead, or just before you go to bed? Thanks for watching today, everyone. We hope you're feeling excited to take control of how much electricity you're using and protect the planet while protecting your wallet as well. We'd love to hear about your adventures on your eco-audit, so tell us about them in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like it and share it with some of your friends. And as always, stay home, stay safe, stay green.